I don't know what that is. This is Lou. Gee Willikers. What is today? It's Friday, May 9th. And it's about, so I'm Eastern Standard Time, okay? And this really doesn't even matter. But if it did, it's, about 1:15, 1:20. I always have a problem with this being literal stuff. So, I'm going to try to do a little video or a long video. We'll see what happens. I've been going to do something forever, and I did do a little part of it, but I didn't do it out of the Mormon doctrine. And I put the book on the shelf. I was, the ones that my dad really liked in Mormon doctrine, okay, the topics. Millennium is one of them, and that's coming up. So the second coming of Christ happens first. But he's ushering in the millennium, so I just really don't know. But I think the more we read, maybe the more we'll find out. So far, things have kind of moved into place, and it seems like the scriptures have been I don't know the word that I want to use. Collaborating is what happens in my head, but I don't think that's right. Anyway, the point is that I'll be telling you guys something, and then the next thing you know, I read about it, and there it is. Just what I said. So it's pretty cool. Here I am wearing these glasses. I'll just end up putting them back on, but I really should go see the eye doctor. I know I keep saying all these things that I should do. Okay, I read about stevia this morning. Okay, so I didn't tell myself I was going to do that. I need to start keeping track of hashtags as I go so that when I need to title it, then I have the hashtags ready. So now I've already forgot what I was going to tell you. Stevia. Okay. I went ahead and, like they say, Google it. Except for I looked on Safari, and they told me we need to put you up a little bit, I guess. Anyway, I asked if stevia affected your blood sugar level. And they said, no, it does not affect your blood sugar level. And also that it might lower your blood sugar level. They said they needed more testing on that. But anyway, I thought that was really groovy grapes. Because I've been doing, because trying not to drink soda too much, okay? And I've been drinking water and drinking water and drinking water. And I don't drink enough. So I need to, make it the word that came to mind was tempting. But to make it delectable, delicious, so that I'll want to drink it, I've been adding stevia to my water. And I bought, still don't use lemons like I oughta, if you oughta. But what I did was I sliced a lemon, half of a lemon, I sliced it up and put it in my water pitcher, which is this cup. This was my dad's cup, okay? And I'm not sure if Nancy or Teresa, one of them, bought the handles for this cup. But anyway, so I'm not sure. That might be a 32-ounce cup, but by the time you've got your ice in it, you don't have it. Nevertheless, I put one of these packets of stevia in there, and I put 2 This morning 3, but you know, they're slender slices of lemon in my water. And it does make it easier to drink. And the stevia, in the old days, the stevia, when I say the old days, I'm not even sure, but there was a time when I had stevia and it left an aftertaste in your mouth. I didn't like it. So, in case that's the reason you don't use it, you might want to try it again. But I just bought a thing of packets. You can get a box of 40. I'm not sure if there's a box of 80. Let's see, how was it? Anyway, I'm happy about that update. I don't know how much of an update I've got really, but I saw my cancer doctor yesterday. Boy, they sure took their time. They were a half an hour late getting to me, if not more, but at least a half an hour late. And then they came right after that, it seems. And then when I got into the other place, it took forever to get everything situated and then get it done, because it doesn't take long to give shots. That's all they did. But nevertheless, my grandson was out in the parking lot forever and a day waiting for me. He weren't too happy about that. I don't blame him. And see, the thing is, coming up, I've got a bunch of appointments next month. So, kind of makes it where I can't really go anywhere. They're going to do something different, okay? I was scheduled to be having a PET scan in June. And I don't know who it is that told her, but my doctor said they want them to do these other tests. Instead of doing a PET scan, they want to do a bone density scan, but it's a nuclear scan. It's not a bone density scan, it's different. Let me say, I've got that paper over there that would tell me what it is. But anyway, I have to go in at 10:15 on June 6th and have an injection. And I can't eat for 4 hours before that injection. And it's nuclear medicine. I mean, nuclear something. I don't know what it is. But it is not the kind that has the sugar in it. When they do the PET scan, they put glucose, they put sugar water in your system. They starve you. I mean, the day before, you're supposed to go without carbs so you can get your carbs way down. So you can starve the cancer, because the cancer loves sugar. Then you go in, let's see, what are we doing? Didn't want to get off on the wrong thing. I started to say as long as your blood sugar is down, but that's for the PET scan. Yeah, the same thing. Your blood sugar has to be down below 150. And that's on, in this area. Where I came from, it had to be down below 200. No, wait a minute. Had to be below 150 where I came from, and here it can be up to 200. I think that's correct. Nevertheless, it's always a worry trying to make sure you get your blood sugar down. But the thing is, okay, back to that part, is you starve the cancer of the sugar. And then you got to have the blood sugar level down, which is proving actually, that you've been starving the cancer. But the point is, then they give you an injection. It's like I don't know if they stick a thing in there, a catheter in there, because that would be an IV. It's been a while since I had it done. I guess I didn't pay close enough attention. Plus, I'll get carried away. But the sugar water, glucose water, has got to be in an IV. That's for the PET scan. Anyway, the cancer wants it. It's lit up. Somehow it's lit up because I saw the scan on their computer screen, and not this time. Okay, this was back when, probably a year ago, but I could see it was like twinkling lights, like purple. Seems like purple. Nevertheless, I could see the cancer going after the sugar. Anyway, so let's get back to, I'm not really sure. What she said is they want us to do something different than a PET scan. And that is it's a bone density scan, and then also a CT scan. And they scheduled it real good. It's all put together. Whereas I go in at 10:15 and get a shot. Let me look and see here. She said that it's supposed to give them a better picture of what's going on inside my bones. Okay, and now I don't have my glasses on. Let's see. 10:15, I go in and get an injection. 11 o'clock, I have the CT scan. And at 1:30, I have the bone density scan. And then there was something else. What is? I can eat, but not, I have to fast 4 hours before this injection. And then wait until after the CT scan before I can eat. So it's a nuclear, I didn't write that down. It's a nuclear bone density test. I'm going to see if I can find this paper and read it to you. I'm glad I brought it back because I was going to leave it with her. Okay. Bone scan, whole body. See, I like this word. I haven't asked anybody what it means, but you know how they have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and I'm stage 4. But here's the deal. Bone scan, whole body, value, order JH. That's got to be her initials. That's my doctor. And anyway, reason, breast cancer stage 4, restaging facility, GVH, test location outside. Anyway, it says it's been approved. I mean, they're not saying they're trying to restage me, okay? But wouldn't that be cool if they could restage me? Nevertheless, that is going to be on the 6th. And then this other one is CT. So this is the whole body. The bone scan, it says whole body. Okay, and then the CT chest, abdomen, pelvis, IV only. So it says IV. IV only, contrast. Ordered, JH, which is my doctor. Reason, breast cancer stage 4, restaging facility, GVH. Diabetic patient. You know what? I am. It says I'm not. It says diabetic patient. No. I need to tell them that's not true. Okay. Well, I really don't know, man. Says that they're going to compare it with previous. I know the bone, because the cancer left the breast and went into the bones. So that's to see a better picture. I hope it's that they can't hardly believe the miraculous healing. Those are words that I want to put in there. I want to put out there, good stuff. And yes, Linda, you're correct. When I first was doing the ivermectin, I took it more. What I did was I took it 2 days in a row. And then I would go for a little while. I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks. And then I'd take it again 2 days in a row. And so, yes, you're correct. However, what I need to do is look that up. And I don't know that seems to me I must have looked it up before. How many times a year, or how often do you worm a horse? Because see, that ivermectin tube is to worm a horse, a 1,250-pound horse. But how often do you do that? Do you do it once a year? Do you do it once every 6 months? So I know that I went overboard on doing it because it kills worms. It kills worms and bots. And I don't know if that's baby worms, or what that is. But there's all these different kinds of worms too. But nevertheless, I definitely need to be taking it more probably than I am. But I've taken it really consistently. I've written down dates here, there, and yon, meaning I really don't know the exact dates. February 23rd was one date. And then I looked in here. Was it here? Let's see. It says ivermectin. I took it 2/23, 4/12, 5/6, and I know that I've taken it in between that. I took it in March. I'm sure I did. But the thing is, even with doing it as often as I'm doing it now, that's still more often than you would the horse. I don't know. All I know is I hope and pray that that is an answer. And see, what I really need to do, I need a list, and I need to do it. I need to look into finding out if I can get the pills. So, I'm supposed to see my primary care doctor here in 2 weeks. I see her on the 14th. So I need to make a list for her, and I need to ask her if I can get a prescription for ivermectin. But the thing is, there's a place that will send it to you in the mail, and I'm not sure if they're asking for the prescription. I just want to get it. And then I'll take it every day. Or there should be instructions on the box, The reason that I decided to take ivermectin was I saw a video that this veterinarian was talking about worming these dogs with this horse wormer. And these dogs happen to have cancer. Their cancer went away. It's just happenstance, just coincidence, whatever. But, I thought it's worth a try. And it does say, I read it, I looked it up, I read a few things. What does it say? The FDA approved it in 1996 for human consumption. Okay. So, if it's safe for human consumption, then humans get worms too. And who knows if some of our diseases aren't because of the worms, you know? Nevertheless, I had talked to a man, and those of you who follow my videos, I've done stuff on it before, but I talked to a man, my grandma told me about him and gave me his phone number. So I had a scare 30 years ago. I thought I might have cancer, had something growing inside of me, female type stuff. It was growing inside of my ovary. Or no, not my ovary, my uterus. It's growing inside of something. Probably my uterus. Because my body was going crazy. But the point was, I had called my Grandma Smith. She was into vitamins and stuff. It was my dad's mother. And she put me onto this man because he had fought off cancer, I guess, for a long time, because he was 70 when I called him. And first time he was diagnosed with cancer, he was 20. So he fought it. I think it came back 3 or 4 times throughout his life, but he fought it each time. And what he told me to do was to get a colon cleanse, to detoxify, but to kill parasites. That's what he was talking about, killing those parasites. So maybe there's more than one type of parasite in there. So we want to get rid of them. But that was his answer to fighting cancer, was to have a colon cleanse. Kill parasites, plus it detoxifies you. I don't think I had cancer, okay? But I did what he said. I got a really strong colon cleanse. And then I got it for my husband too. I would suggest you don't do that at the same time, because especially if you only have one bathroom, because it makes it really hard having 2 people needing the bathroom at the same time. You only got one. Nevertheless, I saw those parasites in the toilet. The ones that I'm talking about look like butter beans, but it looked like the skin of the butter bean without the meat. I don't know if you know what a butter bean looks like. It's kind of a fat thing, If you get butter beans and you soak them yourself, but you can buy them in the can, and you'll see them there. But what I'm talking about is what I saw in the toilet was like the skin. It was like the skin of the butter bean without any meat. So that's not a bad thing to do, to do a colon cleanse. I don't know if you should do one that's that dramatic. And I don't know if you should do one every so often, but it's a possibility that it wouldn't be a bad idea to get rid of parasites. And if that really does help in fighting cancer, then I figured this ivermectin stuff would be the ticket. I mean, it's worth a shot, is all I was saying, because these dogs just happen to have cancer, and he used ivermectin to worm them, and their cancer went away. He wasn't trying to make the cancer go away. It's just that it was a happy circumstance, maybe a happy side effect. The side of my leg was feeling a little bit wet, like a raindrop or something. There's no way. There's no animal, and there's no nothing. My body's been doing weird stuff lately. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking about my car. I need a person, not just a person, you need somebody kind of close to you, to take that journey. They want too much to bring it to me. I've already been scammed out of $500 in that effort. But what I need to do is just fly into Seattle and grab my car. But I need something to keep me awake. Yeah, I don't like to go into cities. I don't like to go on where I don't know my way. Okay. But years ago, I did take that journey several times, from Perryton, Texas up to Washington. And so I know where you start at and where you go until you get to where. Yeah, Perryton, so that's past Colorado. There's different ways to go. I had to go into my head. It's like right now, to get to my property, I know how to get there so easy. It's just staying awake is the problem. And I need to have the music that I love so I can be engaged. If I can be engaged and singing to the music, then I'll stay awake a lot better. And then I have to have snacks. But, all it takes is one time to drop your eyes and you could be dead. And so I don't want to be dead. I need a buddy. And really, if I had, I guess, some audiobooks, I need to figure out how to do that. And they have to be exciting audiobooks so that I'm not going to sleep. Because reading can put you to sleep. And there are certain shows that I watched, like when I was trying to go to sleep. Harry Potter, The Sorcerer's Stone. I went to bed with that every night for 10 years at least. And it would play. When it got to the end, it would restart and play again. That was the first one. And I don't know if all the first ones did that or if it was a fluke. But anyway, the point was, I slept with Harry Potter, the movie, Sorcerer's Stone, for 10 years. And then I changed over to The Good Witch. And I'm not sure how I did that, because it probably played and then went to sleep. Nevertheless, if I put on The Good Witch, if I'm not careful, I'm asleep. And if I put on Harry Potter Sorcerer's Stone, the same thing might happen because I trained myself. It helped me to go to sleep, was the deal. I used to have nightmares, would see the weirdest things, just closing my eyes trying to go to sleep. It would be an in-between the sleep. But anyway, I don't know. I have things I need to do. But really what I need to do is try to pull it together. I need to fly in to Seattle and grab my car. I just stop and visit Nancy for a little bit. I thought about my brother this morning and I'm going, And really, see, I was thinking he could fly into where Nancy is too. Then we could have a little small reunion, and then me and Nathan could take off in that car. But then also, what's the name of that airlines? There's an airlines that just flies certain places. And if you plan ahead, you can get a good price on your ticket. What's the name of that place? Allegiant Airlines, okay? Flies right into Pasco. I mean, how perfect. And Arizona, I think, is the main hub. So flying out of Arizona, you can fly straight into probably a lot of places, I don't know, but to Pasco. And in Pasco is where my Aunt Kathy and Uncle Joe live, and Nathan's good friends with them. So I could drive my car from Nancy's to Kennewick and pick up Nathan there. It would knock off 4 hours for him. Plus, otherwise he's flying into Seattle. I'm not sure what kind of ticket we could get for him. Anyway, I just had thoughts going through my head, and that came into my mind this morning. I'm going, you know, he used to drive across country for a living, so he was driving a semi-truck. This will be in a little car, you know. But he's retired, and really it would be almost perfect, except for that he has health issues. So I'm not sure. Let's see, then he could drive with me to my daughter's with my car, and then I could fly him back to Arizona. I think that's an idea. Of course, I don't know. Like I said, don't know if it would work for Nathan or not. It'd be nice if Jessica would do it. And both of us would have to fly to Nancy's, fly to Seattle, grab the car, and just come. And I need to look up Highway 90 and see where that is in the United States. How do you look that up? I want to see where Highway 90 is. Because there was a person a few years back that was talking about he went up the East Coast and then he went by Highway 90 to well, I guess Vancouver, Washington. I don't know. Let's see. How do I do this? Okay. Show me Highway 90 across the United States. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. I would like to know, and I forget. I know 80. Okay, that's what I started to say, is I know 80. And 80 will go clean across the United States. I think right into Pennsylvania. Except for when I was trying to see a map, it was showing me 476. And Jesse said that's a toll road, so I don't know about that. What that means, how much it costs to go across that road. But I want to know. Highway 90 across the United States. Map. Is that 90? Highway 90 across the United States. Map. No. That can't be. That doesn't make sense. It's showing the bottom of the United States. It's showing from Florida clear over to the other side of Texas. Huh. See, I would think that it would be above 80. But 70 is below 80. So that just don't make sense to me. Highway 90. Maybe it's Interstate 90. Let's look at that. Yeah. It's across the top. So let's see how that works out. Interstate 90 is the longest interstate highway in the United States, stretching from Seattle, Washington, to Boston, Massachusetts. Then what do? Wonder if that's where you hit 76. I would like to see the map better. Huh. Well, the other one, I wonder if it's Interstate 80 or if it's Highway 80. Maybe I'm just saying the wrong word. I know that interstate, or not interstate, yeah. Yeah, Interstate 90 is going clear from Seattle to right at the ocean, but up above PA. But see, still, you could use 90 coming out of Seattle and then find your way into PA. Instead of going up above, you cut off that road. Just wondering which is better, 80 or 90 for driving. How many miles is it? So that's going from coast to coast. I still wouldn't mind knowing how many miles that is. I don't know if it's interstate or highway. Okay. Interstate 80. Yeah, I think they're calling it Interstate 80. Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania runs 311.12 miles across the central part of the state. It is designated as the, then I don't see anymore. Okay. Why is I-80 called the highway to heaven? Okay. The stretch of I-80 between mile markers 6 to 28 is known as the Three Sisters, which some refer to as the highway to heaven, because of an optical illusion that makes it seem that the road is reaching toward the sky. Interesting. Interstate 80 in Wyoming, Wikipedia. Where does US 80 start and end? Huh. Okay, well, how far does Interstate 80 go across the United States? 2,919 miles. It goes from San Francisco, California, really? East to Teaneck, New Jersey, just outside of New York City. The route is 2,919. So from San Francisco. Well, I want to see the map. Where is it at? It's not showing that. Anyway, Highway 80 is a pretty nice road, but maybe I don't know very far. Making it the second longest interstate highway in the United States behind I-90. It goes through 11 states: California, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming. Let's see, I remember I got on 80 at Utah, North Ogden. Or not just North Ogden, whatever. You get there and the road splits off and goes to the east. In other words, coming down from Washington, I'm over there by Kennewick, coming down on the eastern part of the state on 84. And then 84 will split off and you can get on to 80. And then it's all the way, shoot. And then if you're going to my property, oh my, you just make sure you don't miss the exit. You get off at the exit. I'm thinking, what's the name of that place? Kimball. It's a place called Kimball. It's a very small place, okay? But you get off the freeway and you go down. So nevertheless, depending on which way you're coming across the United States, if you're going to my place, you go towards Denver, I guess. Don't get off at Fort Collins. You get off at this little dinky tiny town called Kimball. If you're coming from Washington going across, like what I would be doing on the way home, then I would be turning right. You get off the freeway and you get down at where the road crosses and you make a right. And you follow that for an hour and there'll be no services. I mean, if you want services, there are services in Kimball before you go down to the right. And then you're going to drive for an hour and you're going to do a ziggy-zag and there's my place. It's really easy. Really easy. Anyway, I do have a lot to do. I guess I probably ought to go see about maybe doing some dishes or something, getting something to eat. I haven't been doing the best. I started to say I had an update. I lost 5 pounds. My weight has been staying normal. And I know, or I think I know, that weight loss is one of those things to be concerned about. However, it was just 5 pounds and I don't eat well. So I've been expecting it just because of the fact that I'm not eating well. So I need to go do that. I need to have eggs, or I need to have some beans or something. I need something nutritious. And what I did do, okay, I've been going without my smoothie. And what I did do is earlier I had a smoothie and it had my greens in it. My super greens. that really green powder. I put that in. So what did I do? I put walnuts, blueberries, flaxseed, ground up flaxseed. Trying to remember. Okay, so then I put a scoop of super greens, and then I put a full scoop of my Slim Fast. And it did make it taste better. I was real disappointed that I made a mistake when I ordered my greens. It was supposed to taste like chocolate. The ones I had ordered before were chocolate, and it was not bad. I'd put it just in I got a shaker cup, and I would put it in my shaker cup with milk and a scoop of the super greens and just shake it up. And it wasn't bad because it was already flavored chocolate. Okay, but the greens, nevertheless. So what I did was I did a partial smoothie. I made it more where I could drink it, and so I just had a handful of walnuts, and I had about that many blueberries in my cup, across the cup, that much, and the flaxseed. I didn't add the spinach and stuff because I knew I was putting my super greens in there. So I have had that. So I'm glad about that. So I do need to have some nutrition. I've been noticing my face looking kind of skinny, bony. Not always, but sometimes it just seems like it does. So anyway, I don't know. So I need to go backwards because, let's see. Interstate 80 doesn't even start until, down below. It's down below from where my car is. My car's clear up by Seattle. So let's see. Let's do something else. Best way to travel from Orting, comma, Washington to Lansdale, PA. Go. Okay. That's 2,833 miles. And what it says is 42 hours. I-94 East and I-90 East. Huh. And you go through Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Chicago. Takes you into Lansdale. That's just a long freaking ways, man. That outfit, Indeed, has been sending me job openings. Some have sounded really good. But see, they've got me listed as living over there by my sister. or with my sister actually, in Orting, Orting. I say it Orting. I don't know how she says it, but nevertheless, Orting, Orting, Washington, and it's over by Tacoma. It's 30 minutes from Tacoma, and it's about an hour from Seattle, maybe 75 minutes, I don't know. Depends on how many, I don't know if it's miles or minutes that I got in my head, but nevertheless. Yeah, they sounded pretty good. Just have to learn a new area. But what I got to do is get signed up with Indeed up in this area. But then I need a car to get back and forth to work. That is, if they'll hire somebody my age, and then do you or do you don't tell them that you... I would have to tell them because I would need to get off work. So that's the thing. There's just not a perfect situation when you're my age and having cancer and having treatments and stuff. But I sure would like my car. I hate for everybody else to have to get me there. So Tyler offered, but I don't know if he knew what he was getting into. And I don't always have that many appointments, but what I've got going on next month is like, for some reason it seems like, and I need to ask them about that. Oh. No, see, one of my treatments, or maybe both, is supposed to be every 28 days. And they only have it going to be 21 days, but I figured it out. Okay. That's the day I see the doctor, not get shots. I just visit with the doctor. Okay, because then I go back at the right time and get my shots. Okay, I got it figured out. Nevertheless, there's just a lot of different appointments. My oncologist, I guess we'll call her, my cancer doctor, is going to be on vacation the day that I go in to get my shots, my treatment. So I'm going to see her the week before. So that's because of her. I do like her. She's a good girl. I mean, she's a good doctor. She was wearing a dress today. So anyway, I've probably talked up a storm. Just trying to figure out. I woke up this morning and I couldn't go back to sleep or whatever. I decided I would scroll and look and see, about plane tickets and different things. My car is so cute. I love my car. It does have a lot of miles on it, and it does have a a runaway fob. I never knew what fobs were, and I'm not sure if I'm still saying it right, but the thing that has an alarm, the car has an alarm, and the way to turn it on and off is what I'm talking about on this fob. I can start my car from inside the house. The guy that had the car, he died, but he was a mechanic, and he tricked it out in some ways. So it's a nice car. I think it's cute, and it's little, just my size. Meaning, I like to know where I am on the road. And sometimes if you're sitting up too high, I just can't tell. Depth perception is off. So any old who. Don't know if any of you have tried stevia. If you're a diabetic, you ought to try it. So I'd already told you about it. So, You can make your water sweet, add a lemon slice or two, and get lemonade. Not bad. Okay, so I wrote that, and there was a date. Okay, I think that said 5/6. Let's see. So I took it just the other day. Yeah, 5/6. And today is what day? I think it's the 9th. Yes, it's the 9th. Okay, so 3 days ago I took the ivermectin. And I'm not sure before that, really. I got 4/12, but I could have taken some more in between that. So I'm going to start using my little diary thing and writing stuff down. I need to go get something to eat so I don't be sick. And I'm almost at an hour, so I could let go of that. I didn't do any reading. I don't know how often I should take this wormer. And I used my own regimen because I'm trying to fight cancer. But it's wonderful. Yeah, it was just a coincidence. But I was taking this maybe up to 3 months before I had my PET scan. And I really thought that I was going to get bad news, that it had grown. You know, that it had spread, that it had grown bigger and all that stuff. And then I went in for my, well, actually I didn't get to go in. Just forgive me if I don't say the exacts, because the norm is I go in and I talk to the doctor and learn things. So I'm trying to remember now, because this must have been in Washington. Yeah. Because I wanted to know why my doctor didn't order the blood tests for the cancer markers. And she said, there's no reason. There's no cancer activity. That was after I'd been taking the ivermectin. So it could have been ivermectin. It could have been the treatments are working. No, I took them in sequence. I put together. In other words, I did what the doctors wanted me to do. I went in and had the IV done, and the IV solution, which is the Zometa, which I have to do next month, and then the shots, the hormone blocker injections in my butt. And they said the needles are really big. So I'm lucky if it doesn't hurt, really. And it still did. My left cheek, it didn't hurt at all. But my right cheek, it did. It didn't hurt as bad as before, but it still hurt bad enough. And it didn't hurt going in, but it hurt once the medicine started going in. Call it medicine. I don't know what you should call it. So I'm not sure what exactly is working, but something is. And I found out, too, okay, see, the last I knew, my cancer numbers were 609 or something like that. And she said, no, it was like 400 and something. You know, it might have been 409. Anyway, they're supposed to be around 50, 60, 70, somewhere in there. And I'm saying it wrong, but that's the general area. So maybe we'll just say 50. So I got a ways to go. But it's a heck of a lot better than 1400. I believe it started at 1400. And it's been a year since I started my treatments. I found that out too. So I asked my doctor, and she looked on it for me. So I've been doing these treatments for a year. Which is right around May, April or May, probably May. Of 24. Saying should have went in and had my treatments earlier than that too. So I waited more than once. I waited in the beginning and I messed with this lump that I had and did things I really shouldn't have done. I should have been in there getting it taken care of. And what else? I don't remember, but there was another time I waited. I was just remembering my dad, because he was kind of freaking out a little bit about me not doing what I was supposed to do about the cancer. I think I heard him talking to my brother. So he got his point across. So just in case you need to see it again, here's the ivermectin. There's a horse. It's supposed to be the flavor of apple. So I'm going to have, okay, so what did I tell you? I must have told you all that stuff. They changed my, no I did. So please excuse me if I tell you again. They changed my PET scan to a nuclear medicine or a nuclear something bone scan. So they're going to give me this injection that has this nuclear something in it. It'll go into me. I'm trying to see, maybe I'll go ahead and take another dose. I didn't take the cap off. See, I screwed the thingy down there. And since I just already did it just 3 days ago, there's a cap on it. I think I will. It's probably not that much of a dose. There. But I did figure out that it does not taste bad. I'll see it sucked down in there. I don't know if you can see it. So by the time I shoot that up, there's not going to be very much come out. Well, that one is not as pleasant as the other one. I normally have a cracker or something I can stuff in my mouth, but I don't want to eat in front of you. It's after an hour, so I should stop anyway. Nevertheless, people, if you want to try ivermectin and you can't get your doctor to give you a prescription, go to a feed store that takes care of horses and cows, and there will be a row that has medicine type things for treating your animals. And ivermectin, that thing I just showed you, will be there. And there's other brands too, so it's not just only this box. But ivermectin is the important part. Okay, and you can find it. So anyway, take care, amigo. Yeah, take care, everyone. Okay, I'm not gonna wait. Bye.